Here we go. The law first years this morning, apparently there's a 300-person limit on people joining Zoom. So I'm going to record this session just so that the people who couldn't get into this morning's session have the chance to watch the recording and hear me wittering on. Okay, so I have put in on the screen a QR code for Mentimeter, and we're going to start with just having a look at how you're feeling in your first week in Cardiff. Weather's better today, thankfully. The Mentimeter quiz is anonymous for responses, so you can put what you like. Obviously, you still have to be careful about the words you share. Let's have a look. I'll get Mentimeter open. And it's probably best if everybody's able to switch their mics off, please, because with so many people on the call, get quite a bit of back chat from people, the noise in people's rooms. Okay, so I hope you've all been able to pick up that Menti question. First question is, how are you feeling your first week at Cardiff University? Okay, those are words that I expect to see. The biggest ones are the ones that people are putting in most often. Somebody's ill, I hope that's not COVID, or, something nasty. Perhaps it's a hangover, who knows? You found the Union Bar already. People feeling anxious, confused, undecided, stressed, disorganized, tired. Okay, these are emotions that most first years are going to feel at some point in their first week, in their first month, because being a first year student is quite stressful. I'm pretty sure that the university has sent you loads and loads of information, but actually as a first year, it's quite difficult to know which bits of information are important for you now, that you need to action now, or which bits of information you need to park and come back to later in the week or later in the semester. So it's just a way of showing you that however you might be feeling, there are others who are feeling similar emotions to you, which is why we have the Student Mentor Scheme. Because our students know that being a first year can be quite overwhelming, it can be quite daunting, and they have volunteered to help you through your first couple of weeks and months with us. So you might have questions and you think, well, I don't even know where to look for the answer to this question, but don't know who to ask. It could be that you need to go to your personal tutor. It could be that you need to go to the school office. Maybe you need to go to the Students' Union. Maybe you need to go to the Centre for Student Life to get the answer to your questions. Well, student mentors will know how to signpost you. It doesn't mean that they will give you the answer or they know the answer, but they'll at least know where you should look for that answer. So the best person to talk to is somebody who's been through first year in your school, and your student mentoring groups, you'll always have at least one subject in common with your mentor. So perhaps you're studying international relations. Your student mentor will be studying maybe just international relations or politics and international relations. So there'll always be a topic in common. And the student mentoring groups have about 6 to 8 mentees in them. So first years are called mentees. So by having small groups, it means that you'll get to know your fellow students a lot quicker, because lectures are enormous. They might be online, seminars. There's not much chance to actually chat and get to know other people. So that's why student mentoring groups are really useful. So we've got over 800 mentors trained this year to help all incoming first years. And it just makes life a lot easier to ask your student mentor a question. You can message them between your sessions or go along to your sessions. They'll be weekly or fortnightly, where you'll all get the chance to, have a moan about, oh, I hate my flatmates, or, oh, commuting's really a struggle at the moment, or I went into that lecture, I didn't understand a thing. So it's a safe place for you to, have a chat about your course and about what it's like being a student. Because we know that transition is quite tough. There are lots of support services. You're not on your own, but sometimes it's difficult to know which support service to use. So I'm going to share with you a video about the scheme. And I'm sorry if you can hear my dog huffing and puffing in the background. He's waiting for his afternoon walk. Okay. Oh, I was going to stop that a minute. Right, can you see on the screen a hand colouring the university logo? You put your hands up if they can see. I don't know what you're seeing. Have a go. Right, here we go then.
Cardiff University Student Mentor Scheme offers an invaluable support to our first year students.
Students may have to adapt to new learning styles and living away from home, potentially for the first time.
We are here to make the transitional period easier for our first year students.
We meet with first year students to provide advice on things like budgeting, finding accommodation in the second year, and the university exam experience.
And speaking from experience, it's a great way to meet new people, either in the scheme or in your course.
Here's what our student mentors have to say.
So I volunteered to become a student mentor because it was the first year that my school was running the scheme, and I knew that because I didn't have one, I knew it'd be really helpful for first years to be able to have that kind of support from a peer rather than maybe someone who in a position of authority can sometimes be daunting to approach them. So I really wanted to be able to impart everything that I'd learned over first year and all the wisdom and little tips I got along the way.
My student mentor helped me in first year because she made like a really friendly environment for all, and then the group of about 8 of us, we all became quite good friends after this year, and we still speak to this day.
It literally broke on the way.
Easy interaction.
Yeah, I know.
I helped first year settle in by just showing them that everything will be okay. During practice weeks, you're bombarded with so much information, it can be really overwhelming. So I just let them know that everything's okay, everything starts to settle down in the week, third week.
I'm alright, thank you.
And just let them know that I was here throughout their whole first year if they needed anything.
The topics that I talked to my mentees about were housing, assessments, things to do around Cardiff, struggling to find friends if that was the case for some of them, and just an assortment of things like that.
So I took mine on a campus tour, as I said, and kind of gave them a lot of handouts, like a campus map on the first week, and instead of like just highlighting all like the schools, like I highlighted like social places, so like pubs and Lidl and places like that, where it's vital to kind of get to know in the first few weeks, so you can like meet people, because a lot of societies have their socials there, their first social.
The mentor training was really informative. It really helped us get an idea on the mentor scheme, what are we going to do, and what topics should we cover, what topics should we focus on. It really helped us move out of your experience and deliver that to others and help them learn from their mistakes, the mistakes you've done in the first year, basically.
I have to speak to the lecturers. This is just a well-being thing. But
could everybody put themselves on mute, please? Getting a lot of feedback about things going on in people's rooms. Okay. So you can see from that video that our student mentors really are keen to help our new first years, because they realise, you know, there's a lot to take on board right at the start of university. So going back to Mentimeter, and I've got a couple of questions to ask you. I'll put the code in to chat again, and I'll move Mentimeter on. Okay, so what is it that you're worried about most at the start of the semester?
About how we're to be the classes, the new teachers.
Yeah, all of those things, Andres. So the student mentoring groups will tell you, okay, what a lecture's going to be like, how much homework do you get. They're going to perhaps tell you a bit about each lecturer, so that you get to know, who likes things set out in a certain way. Vast majority of you are coming in with making friends as being the biggest concern. And this is the response that we get across the board for all schools, all subjects. People, have been in college or sixth form with the same group of friends for the last couple of years. And now you have to make new friends. And actually it's quite exhausting finding friends and meeting new people day in, day out. Next question. Oh, and the thing about the laundry, your student mentors can talk to you about using the laundry app to find out where there are free machines free. Do you feel confident about writing essays at university level?
More or less. I think I've got enough, but maybe I could improve it.
Yeah, okay. Always room for improvement. Remember that you have earned a place at a Russell Group University, so you must be able to write essays anyway. However, there is always room for improvement. So student mentors can talk to you about how you set out an essay, what the structure of a good essay looks like, and they can signpost you to our study skills classes. So we teach them online, or we have online tutorials that you can work through at your own pace. Note taking, how do you feel about that?
I think that's fine.
Okay. So a lot of students come and they think that they have to write down everything that's been said. That's not the case. So we have lots of tips and techniques from our study skills classes that'll teach you how to keep up with what's been said in lectures. Most lectures are recorded anyway, but it's a good idea to know how to take notes, even if you're watching a recording, because we've got techniques for helping you get through 2 hours of a recorded lecture. Next question. Do you want the chance to meet other people on your course? So there are some people who are already saying, well, the age-old question about pineapple on pizza. But going to your student mentoring groups will mean that you're able to actually chat to people in a smaller group setting, and find out if you have things in common with people, find out who's joining which societies, perhaps go along together, find out people's, if people have got certain likes in music or gaming, and that's a way of, starting to make friendships. So we'll go back to presentation. Okay, so Student mentoring groups, you can ask anything. What's the coursework going to be like? What's the referencing system that your particular school uses? Because there are various systems that you have to use, depending on which subject you're studying. Which are the books that you definitely need to buy for yourself, or which are the ones that you can rely on a library copy for? What are the exams going to be like? But it's not just about the academic side of student life. You can ask things about, being a student. What do you do if you don't get on with your flatmates? What if you're a commuting student? And things that you can join in with to help you feel involved in your school and the university. Definitely towards the tail end of the semester, student mentors will be talking about how you find housing for second year, because a lot of people really panic about that. And this brings it home, I think. Emily is a mentor for us in law and politics. She's doing international relations and politics. And she says, I remember starting first year, sitting down, checking my emails about my course and feeling completely out of my depth. Okay, it's an overwhelming feeling. Having a student mentor was incredible. It made the process so much easier. There are only 11 teaching weeks until the Christmas break. So you have loads to learn about your chosen subject, but you have loads to learn about being a student as well. So that's why I would encourage you to join your student mentoring groups. I'm going to talk in a bit about how you do that if you haven't had a link yet from your mentor. So you'll be covering things about academic life, things about time management, and that's from a student perspective. All of your induction this week is from a staff perspective. It's a really good idea to get a student's take on it as well. Tips about living on a student budget, and tips about coping with exams, and how you get a good revision technique in place. And the thing that I want to leave you with is that our students' mentors are volunteers, and they're volunteering because they want to help, and they are very friendly people. There's going to be no judgment. They all know that no question is going to be a silly question, and you are not expected to know the answers to everything because you're just starting. So some of you will have received a link from your student mentor already, telling you when your session is going to be. For those of you who haven't found that email, please check your spam clutter box. If you still can't find that email, here is the link in chat to fill in a short form to let me know that you haven't found your email yet, and I will sort out groups over the weekend. Okay. But the best thing I have for you, if you haven't got a session already planned with your student mentor, I have some current mentors from politics and international relations on this Zoom call, and they are there now. Waiting for you. So if you just click on that link in chat to join the Zoom meeting, Emilia and Sophie will be there to tell you a bit about being a first year student in your school, and more importantly, you can ask them any questions that you have in your first week. So I'm going to end this session now. Hop over to that Zoom link if you want to hear what Emilia and Sophie have to say. And I wish you all the very best for your first semester here at Cardiff. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so the people left on the call, if you want to join that Zoom meeting to have a listen to some current students from your school, then please click on the link. But I'm going to be closing this session in 5 seconds. So I'll give you a 5-second countdown to click the link. 3, 2, 1. I will be going.